The story starts with a guy named Kikuru Maiden asking Enum, the guild officer, to resign his job. Enum asks why. He explains that he never had a relationship in his life. He's 20, but all he has ever done was training and killing monsters in his teenage life. Enum suggests that he stay, and shows him a new martial arts recruit, named Hitamuki. Hitamuki introduces herself to him. Enum asks Kikuru to join Hitamuki on her first quest. He agrees, and thinks maybe he'll place Hitamuki in his position. They reach Mabuki Forest. Hitamuki senses monsters and they hide behind the rock. Kikuru thinks about her beast ability, and turns back and sees Hitamuki standing in front of Slimes. Slimes goes inside her dress. She falls down on the ground. Kikuru offers help and kills the Slimes. After that they go deep inside the forest. Kikuru tells her how to kill monsters, and be careful while doing it. Suddenly they see a Burlian standing in front of them. Kikuru tells her to distract the Burlian. Instead she gets grabbed by the Burlian. Kikuru then kills the bear with his arrow. After that, they return to the city, and goes to the guild, and complains about Hitamuki's activities during the hunt. So Enum uses the chance to introduce a new recruit, named Medina Angers. She's a white sorcerer. Medina misunderstands Kikuru for thinking about finding the right girl. Kikuru tells her that he doesn't see her that way, and she looks more like a kid. Medina hits him on his head. Then Kikuru tells his school flashback, where he spends his time on the defense system, not in the class. Medina has joined the party, but she doesn't trust Kikuru. They leave, and go to the Mabuki Forest again. Kikuru tells the hunting rules to them both. Medina tells that she already learned these things in school. Last time Kikuru was the one who defeated the Slimes, and Hitamuki did nothing except getting grabbed by the slime. So this time he sends Hitamuki to kill the slime. She goes there and starts to greet the slime, but the slime wasted no time, and attacks her. This time she escapes from the slime, and tries to stab his core with her martial arts, but breaks her fingers by hitting the rock. Another slime shows up while Hitamuki was yelling, and locks her hand. The first slime grabs her back. Kikuru comes in and stabs the slimes and saves her. Medina heals Hitamuki's hand, and charges her. Suddenly a big slime shows up out of nowhere. Hitamuki powers up, and tells Kikuru that she can only use this power when the opponent's attack is towards her. The slime sees Hitamuki, turns the table, and goes for Medina, but Kikuru saves her. They come back to the guild and report. Medina says thank you for saving her, but this time she's angry with Hitamuki. Because of her, the slime turned towards her. Medina tells everyone that she's 15 years old. Kikuru tells Enum to add 18+ girls on his team next time. The next day, we'll tell Kikuru's senior hunter retirees. Kikuru gets upset. Now he could never resign from the job, because he's the top hunter now. Enum informs him that they have another 2 new recruits for him. He gets upset, because he wants a guy team member. Enum talks about the new recruits. One of them is a knight, and another one is a black sorcerer. The black sorcerer shows up there, and lies on the table in front of him. Her name is Tokashika Dana. Tokashika is just lazy, so Kikuru decides to leave her, but she stops him and goes with him. They go to a place to recruit another member. Hitamuki asks Kikuru about Medina. Kikuru replies that she has school, and she's tired from her last job. After that, Hitamuki goes to hunt the monster alone, and tells Kikuru that she will live up to his expectations. But again, she fails and gets caught by a Burlian. Kikuru tells her that she sure lives up to his worst expectations. Kikuru then tells Tokashika to show her abilities, and turns back and sees nobody. Tokashika just reaches the place with a stick in her hand, and faints. They both failed, so Kikuru kills the bear lion and saves Hitamuki. After that, Kikuru understands why Hitamuki goes to attack the Burlian alone, and comforts her, because they've been working 3 days straight. Hitamuki doesn't want Kikuru to struggle. That's why. After that, Tokashika tells them to calm down. They both blush. Kikuru tells Tokashika to show her abilities. They see a Zippy Rabbit monster cave. Zippy Rabbit throws punches on Hitamuki. Kikuru notices that the Zippy Rabbits are pissed at something, and realizes they're pissed because they killed Burlian. Tokashika begins her talking, by saying she used to raise rabbits after school. While she was talking, a zippy rabbit punches her in her face. She gets mad and uses her voltage attack, but the rabbits dodge all of her attacks. She asks Kikuru's help. He refuses and teaches her how to attack. She calls Hitamuki for help, but sees her being groped by the zippy rabbits. She too gets groped by the zippy rabbits. Kikuru goes to help them, but Tokishika boosts her power. The rabbits, after seeing her power up, go back inside their cave. Tokishika doesn't realize that the rabbits were not there, and shoots the voltage power on her. Kikuru tries to stop her, but she shoots. Kikuru dodges the attack. Tokishika and Hitamuki get burned. They return to the guild, and meet the new member of their gang, Hanabata, a knight. She's the childhood friend of Tokishika. After seeing her, Kikuru thinks he can finally retire. Everyone learns that Hanabata is the daughter of the Nokin Sports. They all get shocked. While leaving for the next quest, Tokishika messages Kikuru saying she cannot make it to work because she needs to play a new game. Hanabata apologizes for Tokishika's behavior. Hitamuki senses Slime's presence and sees Kikuru with her excited look on her face. But Kikuru doesn't allow her to hunt, because he doesn't want to see her getting groped by the slime. Hitamuki senses another slime. Kikuru runs fast and kills it. Hitamuki argues with Kikuru. Suddenly they see a Madba running towards them. Hanabata advances and one-shots the Madball. Hitamuki gets sad because she didn't do anything for their party. Hanabata motivates her by saying that sensing the monsters is also helping their party. She gets motivated and tells them about a pack of monsters coming on their way. While running downhill, Hitamuki trips and falls down. The balls attack Kikuru, but they begins to grope Hitamuki. Every time Hitamuki is in the same situation, Hanabata uses her powers and transforms into a small girl minded. Then she kills all the balls. After, she comes to Kikuru asking to pat her head for defeating the monsters. She hugs Kikuru tight enough to break his back. Kikuru suffers. She suddenly goes to her normal stage. They return to the city. Kikuru realizes Hanabata's butlers, who have been lying to her about her powers, not telling her that she turns into a small girl while she powers up. But he decides to see what happens later, because the butlers are behind watching him. We see their next hunt. The same thing happens to Hitamuki. Kikuru turns back to ask for Tokishika's help, but sees her being captured by the monster. Hanabata uses her power, and the power turns her into a kid. After that, Kikuru confronts them and gives them a day off, because he needs a break after working for 5 days straight. Hitamuki gets excited going out with her friends. Tokishika doesn't show interest. Kikuru tells her to join the hunt alone with him. She rejects and accepts to go out with everyone. They all go out the next day. Medina shows up with her student council, because she's not allowed to waste time. The student council leaves after seeing her with her friends. Back at the guild, Kikuru searches the guards' numbers on the guild data, because he wants to know, why are the monsters attacking everyone except Hitamuki? And he searches to find the answer. Enem tells him that's because of her beast ability. Kikuru realizes, because of Hitamuki's beast ability, her mana power is so high, so the monsters didn't want to kill her in one shot. That's why they are doing lewd things to her whenever she goes to hunt. Back to the girls' group. Everyone's at a cafe. Tokishika suggests talking about their love story. Hanabata tells family is strict, so she doesn't have any experience on that line. In fact, her butlers are in the cafe watching her activities. Same goes for Medina and Hitamuki. Medina's family is strict. Hitamuki spends her life training. Tokishika tells them the same answer. Hanabata asks her then why she brought the topic. Tokishika then calls Kikuru to ask about his opinion on dating one of them. He chooses Enem and hangs up. They all part ways in the evening. Hitamuki senses Kikuru and falls on top of him. After a while being in that position, the other 3 girls see them lying in an uncomfortable position. Tokishika takes a quick photo of them. The next day, Enem joins Kikuru to investigate the monsters' lewd activities. Kikuru tells Hitamuki to sense the weak monsters, and avoid the strong monsters. They go into the forest. Kikuru explains to Enum that he would choose Hitamuki as his hunting partner because she is always careful about their surroundings, and she has a great sense of smell and stamina. While talking about Hitamuki, she falls into a hole. Suddenly Hitamuki tells Kikuru that something is coming, and she can't sense what it is. A snake pops from the ground. She tries to defend the snake. Kikuru tells her that the snake is not venomous. Suddenly another snake pops out from underground and begins to touch Hitamuki's inappropriate places. Kikuru shows this to Enum. Enum asks him to save her. Kikuru goes to save her, but suddenly another 2 snakes came from underground and grabs Enum. Enum activates her defense magic. Kikuru hears her using defense magic and turns back and sees the snakes groping Enum. Suddenly the snake rips Enum's dress. Kikuru sees the snake doing inappropriate things on her breast. Enum asks him to save her. He kills all the snakes and saves her. Enum asks about Hitamuki. He totally forgets her. The snakes are doing unnecessary things to Hitamuki. Kikuru saves her, and they return to the guild. Hitamuki learns that Enum is 31, and she has a daughter named Esine. The next day, after a long training, Hanabata, Hitamuki, and Kikuru takes a rest. Kikuru tells Hanabata about her weakness, relying on her power-up instead of fighting with the same power. Hanabata empties her water bottle. Hitamuki offers her water bottle. Kikuru tells Hitamuki to take his water bottle, but when he opened his bag, there is no water bottle, except he has a mana bottle. The day before, he was training his 2 sorcerer teammates to regain their mana if they ran out while training. Kikuru gives his mana bottle to Hanabata. This is the first time Hanabata is drinking mana liquid. Then Kikuru tells Hitamuki to slow down. When she is fighting, Hanabata begins to ask Hitamuki about Kikuru. Hitamuki tries to convince her by saying that he's going to pick up something, but she couldn't lie to her. She panics, tries to find a lie. Kikuru is watching this from behind the rock. He is confused now. He doesn't understand why Hanabata suddenly turned into her power-up kid mode. He then begins to question himself, returns back and sees Hanabata rubbing her face on Hitamuki's breast. Kikuru then shows up and acts like he got beaten by another hunter. Hanabata then sucks the blood from Kikuru's hand and returns to her normal sense. When she does, she gets embarrassed and hits him with her heavy blow attack. The next day, they all go to hunt monsters, but like always they get doomed by the monsters. Kikuru begins to explain what exactly happened. First, Hanabata gets ready for her fight, but Tokashika hits her with her voltage magic. Hanabata goes down. Hitamuki goes to help Hanabata, but gets grabbed by Berlian. Seeing these situations play out, Medina gets scared, cries and calls Kikuru to help them. The monster's reinforcement arrives and grabs them. Tokashika uses her full power to blow them up. Everyone gets knocked out. They return to the city and goes to Kikuru's house. Tokashika raises a toast for blowing up the 3 monsters at the same time. Kikuru comments on her power, saying that she knocked her party members too. Medina and Tokashika begins arguing at the table. Kikuru thinks quitting the party now won't work for any of them and eats the food. Then he praises Hitamuki for making such tasty food. The other 3 girls get jealous and goes inside the kitchen to cook for Kikuru. After a while, they bring their cooking, and Kikuru makes them eat their own food. Their dress gets blown away. Then Hitamuki tells Medina that the meat that she cooked was the bear lion's genitalia. Medina faints. Subscribe for more videos.